All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of For the Fowlers. I'm Brandon, coming to you live from Newman Gun Club out here in Newman, California. Out here with my good buddy, Clay. Clay, welcome to For the Fowlers, man.
Thanks for having me.
So, it's Clay's first time on a podcast, huh?
Oh, yeah. First and last, probably.
No, I've been trying to get Clay on here all season, actually. And when I was, building this podcast and putting up my guest list, I was like, I want to get Clay on here because obviously he brings an interesting perspective. We met each other in college, but he grew up out here, at this duck club, been hunting here since he was a little boy and, does some out-of-state hunting. And then really what I wanted to bring him on is kind of pivoting away from waterfowl a little bit. And, Clay's family's got some property up in Montana and they get up there and do some big game hunting as well. So I think it'd be kind of cool to talk about. But yeah, so a little bit about how Clay and I met. We met in college. Clay played football at Sac State. My buddy Pete, who's been on here a couple times, he was on Clay's football team, and that's how I got to know Clay. But we kind of bonded over waterfowl hunting and started hanging out a little bit. And it's, I was thinking about it's been almost 15 years, man.
I know, time flies.
It's been a long time. But first off, man, I appreciate you having me down here again. We had a good hunt this morning. I was out here with your uncle and got into him. It was a good way to kind of wrap up the season for me, so appreciate the invite.
For sure.
Yeah. This is a fun place, man. Been coming out here for a handful of years, and I think it's got, at most, 29, 30 members?
29, yeah.
29 members. Every member has their own, cottage or cabin here, right?
Yeah. Everyone has their own place, and then obviously we have the clubhouse.
Yeah, the clubhouse is amazing. You guys just redid that a few years ago, huh?
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, man. And big news is Newman Gun Club, 100 years this year, huh?
100-year anniversary, yep.
Yeah, so you guys will be doing a big party this summer, I heard.
Yep, we're going to do a big party and get catered. Probably have a couple hundred people out here and shoot trap. And
that's awesome. For the Fowlers invited?
Always. Or if not, they just show up.
Yeah, right on. Well, dude, let's talk a little bit about how you got into hunting and everything. I know you obviously grew up in it, so your dad, your grandpa, how'd you get into waterfowl hunting?
My dad joined this club in 1986, which is 3 years before I was born. So I grew up out here. So I started coming out here with my dad when I was 3 years old with a BB gun, and I would chase his wounded birds around the island and shoot them and kill them, finish them off for him and whatnot. And then I got my license when I was 8 years old. And then it's always been a dream of mine to be a member here. And finally, 2 years ago, I finally got a membership here. So,
yeah, man, it's been good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I've said, we've been coming out here. You've been gracious enough to bring us out, as a guest multiple times. But, what's kind of your, earliest hunting memory? I know you mentioned the BB guns, but what about, an actual duck hunt? Do you remember?
I remember my first limit ducks was right.
Was it here?
Right here in this blind my house with all the toolies and stuff. Yeah, I remember. I probably didn't actually kill him. I got a couple of those. My dad shoots them and goes, "Oh, you got that one."
Yeah.
But I remember my first limit ducks. It was the first year I got my license. So
that's awesome. Cool. And I mean, obviously, you growing up around here, you've got to know some of the members and whatnot. Pretty cool guys. I've gotten to know some of these guys out here. Yeah, some characters as well, but everyone,
It's a great place. There's a lot of good people. A lot of these guys see me grow up. There are members out here before I was born as well, but we get a good thing out here.
Yeah. Nice. I don't know, we'll talk a little bit about big game hunting because I'm curious, where waterfowl hunting kind of ranks in your, outdoor activities, but as far as duck hunting goes, I know, when we first started hunting together, we had access to this club, but we would go to the refuge sometimes. What do you prefer? I know it's obviously super nice. We stayed in a great cabin, we're up at 5:00, breakfast, take the side-by-side out and walk the gravel, path to the blind. This is nice, but what do you prefer?
That's a tough question. I mean, to me, it's two different things because I go deer hunting once a year, so it's very special. All my buddies here get together and we drive to Montana and do all that, and it's a special one-time thing here. The duck season, I'm out here every weekend for 2 months, so I don't know if I could pick one, to be honest. But if I had to choose one for the rest of my life, I'd probably choose duck hunting just because I get to do it more often.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, excuse me. I mean, obviously it's cool, you living so close to here, but I was kind of thinking about this today where and being down here in the grasslands area, it kind of picks up as the season goes on. It's a little later start than we have as far as birds go up in the Sacramento Valley. But down here, like, I always think it's cool. Like, you're gone the whole month of November, right?
I was this year.
Is that normal? Like, I know you go to Montana every year, but being gone like the whole month?
We're usually gone 2 weeks, but 3 of the last 4 years I've stayed through Thanksgiving just because if I have an elk tag, the opportunity of killing a big elk is usually around Thanksgiving up there.
Yeah, and we'll tease it a little bit, but you did get one this year.
I got the best one I've ever got this year.
Yeah, but you mind if I post that picture on Instagram? Yeah, we were talking about it last night. How big was that thing?
The green score was 360.
Okay, and for someone who doesn't elk hunt, tell me about that. What's the green score?
You're supposed to, the technical way to score, you're supposed to wait so long until it dries because the horns shrink.
Okay. And
you're supposed to, I rough measure it, if it's 2.5 inches or 2 3/4 inches, I call it 3 inches, but you're supposed to measure in eighths, and there's just different rules for different rule books.
Sure. Okay.
So the rough green score was 360.
So what 360 is that, like, for maybe guys that hunt elk who listen to the podcast, they're gonna be like, damn, that's freaking awesome, or like, is that?
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good bull. I mean, there's guys that kill a lot bigger ones, but
sure.
360, like, scored the right way that's dried, it's in the record books.
No way. Wow. Yeah, like I said, I saw that picture you sent me a few weeks ago or a couple months ago. Yeah, that was incredible.
Boone and Crockett, I think it's the score is 360. So obviously, not rough scoring it like I did, and it has to be dried. But I mean, we all score them like that. It's just to tell our buddies a score, just for bragging rights.
So let's go back to waterfowl hunting. I'm curious, and for the listeners out there, Clay actually introduced me to his buddy Landon, who's been on here a couple times, and Landon used to guide a little bit. I think he actually still guides. He's out there guiding today.
He guided today, and he wasn't even supposed to. I think he filled in for a guy.
Yeah. But no, he was out there guiding out, I think in the Napa Marsh area today. But I talked to him, and he loves shooting mallards, whatnot, and I know you always like to give me a hard time because, I'm not overly selective on the birds that I like to shoot. But what's your favorite bird to shoot? I know you shoot a lot of teal down here. You guys love your teal.
I would say mallards are probably my favorite. I love shooting sprig too, and we rely on the teal here. So, shooting at a flock of 50, 60 teal coming in at one time, that's pretty hard to beat. But probably mallards just because I never get to do it.
Yeah, so I brought the strap in today, and I said today we had 2 wigeon, 2 teal, and 3 spoonies. And Clay said, "That's awesome, man! You shot 4 ducks." So he always likes to give me a hard time about those spoonies, but no, that's cool, man. So, what do you guys shoot the most of? Like, besides teal, what do you guys shoot the most of out here at the club?
Probably second most. Well, probably wigeon.
Yeah,
spoonies, sprig, mallards. I mean, if you have a good year on the mallards at our club, you're going to kill 10 or 15.
Yeah,
for the year. But we really never got into the sprig this year. We were pretty excited with the 3 sprig limit.
Yeah.
But I never had a day where I got 3, and I really thought we were going to get them.
Oh, got a couple guys here.
Live hunters.
Yep, a couple hunters coming in.
Shoot them down.
I was at 3.
How'd you guys do?
We got them.
Nice.
What does that mean?
No limit.
How many spoonies you get?
10 teal, 4 widgets.
Oh, that's all right.
10 teal, 4 widgeons. See, Clay approves.
I guess we'll
Taylor
prove.
was on fire. He was like 6 for 6. He was on the barrel on the big water side. Fucking couldn't miss. Then reality set in.
There's a couple members coming in, just wrapping up their hunt, so they had a good morning.
Those guys are the party of the club right there.
Yeah. You guys were hanging out at that cabin last night for quite a while.
That guy he's always out here having a good time, and when he's not here or not around one day, it's going to suck because we rely on him to have some fun.
No, and that's what I think is really cool about this place. I mean, obviously, a few weeks ago I was down here, and we all went to dinner down at Wool Growers, and a lot of members came out. Obviously, those guys are a lot of fun to hang out with. But then just sitting out here, like at your cabin, like it's kind of like right in the middle of everything. And so folks, when they're pulling in on a Friday or wrapping up a hunt on a Saturday, everyone seems to come out here and hang out here, and seem to be a good host. You made us a pretty solid lunch here, So, cool. Well, right on. So let's talk a little bit about, as far as refuges go. You spend most of your time down here, like in the grasslands, if you do hunt the refuge, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got a refuge pass this year. Probably only hunted a handful of times, but when my buddies go out more, they like to go to the refuge, and I'll go out there with them more.
Yeah.
We just never really got into the ducks too good this year, so they'll go do other things. So, but when we do get into the teal and stuff, I'll go out to the refuge quite a bit.
Do you, when we were up at Sac State, did you ever go up like to any of the refuges up there? I mean, because it was after football season, or no? I guess you guys were in the thick.
We got 5 weeks off for winter break, so I would come home just hunt ducks for 5 weeks here.
Yeah, hunting here. But did you ever go up to any of those Sac Valley refuges?
I've never been to it. The only thing I've ever done up there is rice hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through like a buddy, like a lease or something? Did you do a guided hunt?
Yeah, I went through with a couple buddies, and then I did a couple guided hunts with our mutual friend Kevin Moore.
Oh, nice.
We did one, so.
Nice. It was cool texting with him last night. I'll have to see if he wants to jump on the podcast when he comes out next year for that kind of...
The guy's kind of weird, man. I don't know.
Cool. Well, speaking of kind of hunting out of here, you mentioned before we hopped on that you've done some out-of-state hunting. So you go up for waterfowl hunting. So you go up to Clay's flagging down the bartender here. You hunt up in Washington. You've hunted ducks up there.
I've hunted at Eagle Lakes in Washington a few times.
Yeah. How was that?
It was great. That place is great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. They really work hard to get you some birds, and it's a really nice place. And
When was the last time you were up there?
2 years ago.
Okay. Was that kind of like an annual thing, semi-annual, or just...
We get a group of guys out here, and we just decide to go every once in a while.
That's cool.
That last time I went, I drove home from Montana. Got home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the next morning at 6 a.m. I drove to Washington to go duck hunting.
No way. Nice.
No one's going to think I have a job on this thing.
Well, that's actually what's kind of funny, if you don't mind. I mean, putting it out there, like, this is kind of a fun time for you because, I was telling some folks, like, you basically, I know you work every day, but, obviously being in the farming business, the ag business, like, you have times where, like, you're busting your ass. You're busy, March through August, September?
Through October, into October.
End of October.
We farm almonds and walnuts, so there's not much to do in the off season. That's all we do. So.
Yeah. So you're able to do stuff like this, which is totally cool.
Yeah, we lay our guys off, and we try and get all our work done before we head to Montana.
And then you mentioned some other out-of-state hunts. You said you've been down into Mississippi Flyway a little bit.
Yeah, I've hunted some flooded timber in Arkansas, and then I hunted in Missouri with Tony Vandemore 3 times.
Nice. And how'd you end up out there?
We just called and booked a hunt. We just about 10 years ago, we decided, because we don't kill a lot of mallards here, to maybe go venture out and do some duck hunting trips and try and kill some mallards elsewhere. And it was a cool experience to go to the Midwest and do all that stuff. And
who went on that trip?
My dad, my uncle, and a handful of guys out here, friends.
That's awesome.
It was a good time. We don't always kill ducks, but we always had a great time out there.
Is there another club trip on deck? You guys are talking about?
Try and go back to Eagle Lakes next December with a handful of guys out here. So
nice. Well, I know we got a handful of memberships available right here, so maybe I can. What do you think?
Your application's under review.
Once again, under review. Yeah, because that's a perfect segue. Because I thought I was going to Montana next year with you, but I found out last night that my application and to go join you guys in Montana is also under review.
There's a series of steps you got to, hoops you got to jump through to get to Montana. It's not, you can't just show up.
Are you kidding me? If anyone could just show up, it's me, dude. I'll bring the whiskey, I'll cook, I'll do whatever, But let's talk about that. So you guys have a pretty cool ranch out there, and I know you guys have only had that property for
10 years?
Okay. And before that, did you guys have another property up there, or is this kind of a 10-year thing you guys have been going to Montana?
My dad and uncle started out hunting in Utah on a private ranch.
Okay.
There was a dream to always have their own place, and they finally decided to buy a place in Montana, just outside of Billings. And honestly, we love it. My whole family loves it. It's my home away from home. I'm there for about a month out of the year.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I know we were just joking about it, but I honestly hope to one day, and hopefully it's next year, be able to go up there, because I've seen the pictures. I obviously saw that video that I think either you guys put together, the one that almost looked like maybe you guys were thinking about selling it.
It was for sale.
Yeah.
I think it's still listed, actually.
Oh, is it? But that video, just probably doesn't do the property justice, but I mean, it looks like absolute God's country up there.
It is beautiful. And the house where they built the house is on the tallest mountain on the ranch, and it kind of has a big old wraparound porch, and you can oversee the ranch. And it's just like, as far as like thinking about a place to get out of town and be in the middle of nowhere and having like a nice place, that's what it is.
So what the hell's under review? Because I told you last night at dinner, I said, I'm picturing this place with a wraparound porch, and I just want to sit out there with my rocker and just kind of like check out for 3 or 4
We're looking
days.
for a guy to show up and do some clean some dishes. You haven't signed up for that yet. You got to tuck my dad into bed at night too. You got to make sure he takes his socks off.
No. Here's the deal. You know me. I'm a good guest. You know that, right? Because hey, let's put another guest under the bus here. Because what did you say? I actually stayed in your dad's cabin last night, and here what was the deal? We had Pete here. Guy can't make a bed to save his life.
You know, he did it over at my dad's. He did it at my place, and his application's under review for next year's hunts. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, dude, I like I said, I look forward to being able to go up there. How big is that place? How many acres do you guys have?
It's about 6,000 acres.
Wow.
And for a long time, we had a lease on another 15,000 acres to hunt, but we just have to hunt the 6,000 now. So the elk hunting up there is pretty exceptional. You can kill some really big bulls up there, especially in the bow season. The deer hunting it's below average as far as the size of the deer. And
on your property or in that area?
On our property.
Okay.
But we do feel like it's getting better. I recently planted some food plots and improved it in that way, and I think it's getting better, but the elk hunting's always been exceptional up there.
So, stupid question, but like the deer, is that the elk being more dominant, or like more like is a competition up there for the deer to not really thrive on your property? Because
they had some issues with weather conditions.
Okay.
It got really cold.
Sure.
They had a big kill. It happens all the time. They just had one in Wyoming, and it killed they said 70% of the population of the deer.
Yeah.
When it snows, the ground freezes, and they can't get their food, and there's all kinds of things that happen. But yeah, they had a big one, but right before we bought it, and I think it's finally starting to come back.
So when you go up there, obviously, you're wrapping up harvest, and it's just a good time to get away. And I know you mentioned yesterday, like they do like a fun 4th of July get together, but like you're in the thick of it down here. So do you even go, like, do you pretty much go up one time a year, or how many times a year?
Twice a year. Once in the spring, we usually try to do some shed hunting, and then get some work done around the ranch as far as cleaning roads, trimming trees, fixing some fence with the cattle, whatnot. And then we go in November with 10 or 12 guys.
And then what about, like, your dad? Does he go up twice a year as well, or
he goes about 4 or 5 times a year.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Right.
So when you go up, let's talk about that, I guess, fall trip. Is the plan obviously to get up there, kind of decompress after a long harvest season, all that stuff. But but the whole plan up there is like to go elk hunting, right? Or
it depends what tag you get.
Okay.
Sometimes you get a deer tag, sometimes you get elk tag, sometimes you don't get nothing. It just depends what you get.
Okay.
This past year I had an elk tag. That's why I planned on staying through Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so I was actually going to be on the ranch for 22 days, and I killed my elk in the first 6 hours. And actually,
I remember that when you texted me. I was like, that was pretty early in the trip.
Landon Azevedo was with me.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was the biggest bull I've ever killed, and it was just the first 6 hours. It was like 68. We always pray for weather, snow, bad conditions, get the animals moving.
Yeah.
It was 68 degrees. I was standing on the porch cooking steaks at night in a t-shirt, drinking a beer. It was just
so. I joked that your uncle took me out on a little guided hunt today because, it was obviously cool for him to come out and take me, give me access to your guys' club and everything. But as far as hunts go up in Montana, and I'm not being serious about guided hunts, but how does that work? Like, let's say you're like, hey, Nap, come on up, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's the process for me to be able to get a deer tag or an elk tag up there, or is it really tough?
We put in for applications before April 1st, and to get an elk tag, they say you need about 9 points, which is about 9 years. There's some extra points you can buy and whatnot, but it takes time to get elk tag. Deer tag, if you drew, you'd probably get one either this year, next year, or the year after. Within 3 years, you'd get one. It totally changed after COVID. They say a lot of people who used to draw tags in Canada started just staying in the United States because they were shutting down
borders. Yeah.
So the population of people that are drawing for tags in Montana is crazy. Because we used to just draw for a Montana general deer tag, and we'd always get it.
Yeah.
And now it's just not like that. And we're landowners. I'm a landowner there. Me and my uncle, dad, we all put our names on different parts of the property, so we have a better chance to get tags.
Yeah.
And still,
That plays into the draw?
Well, you have a better chance if you're a landowner.
Yeah.
Which in some states, they give you landowner tags.
Yeah.
Like in Colorado.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, actually.
In like Colorado, you buy like a 10,000 acre ranch, it might come with 5 deer tags and 5 elk tags.
Are there some years, because you guys obviously have a big group that goes up between you, your dad, and your uncle. I mean, every year you guys have some sort of tag,
We have
right?
something, yeah. Well, this year we had 2 3 had elk tags. My uncle got his first elk this year. He's 72 years old.
Yeah. No, that was he was talking about that today. So what else is there to do up there? You know, if you guys have a good time, hang out.
I mean, our favorite thing to do is just obviously relax, at the place.
Yeah.
We look forward to every night barbecuing, drinking with our friends, playing cards. The little town we're in is called Roundup. They have a couple of local watering holes there.
Yeah.
We have a bar there called The Grand, and every time we get an excuse to go to town to get some milk or water, we
pop
go
in
there for a couple hours.
Nice.
And it's the cheapest good food and drinks you can find.
Nice. Should we put Gropey on the spot and find out what his favorite part of Montana is real quick?
Hey, Grope.
Gropey, come here.
Wait, one question for you.
One question, all right.
Come
One
on.
question. Everyone knows the rules.
Here you go. Got Gropey coming on here. What's your favorite part about Montana when you guys go up there? Hold the mic up.
Favorite part about Montana?
Oh, a little higher.
A little higher. All right.
Is it Ron DePauw or?
Ron DePauw, yeah, it's up there. He's up there for that. I don't know. Just the whole trip, hanging out with the guys. Going into town, hunting, all of it.
Going to out of state hunting with your best friends, traveling together,
the travel, going there,
getting to
definitely hypes.
kill something. I was there when Gropey killed his first elk. Like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stuff like that.
Well, we chatted a little bit about it because obviously, like I said, if I go up, I obviously don't have as much time as you guys because I know Gropey, you work with Clay, but, and it's kind of like the off season, if you will. But like for me, like I'm gonna have to fly up. But talking to Gropey last night, he's like, the drive sounds like a great time. He says sometimes you guys can do a 2-3 day trip and just kind of take your time going up there. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
One of the best parts is, like, if I recommend you drive up and then fly home after a few days.
Well, maybe if you approve Pete's application,
well, Gropey's on the board to approve applications. He has a passed trip.
Are you kidding me? That's the nicest guy out here, and he's the one who's holding us all up.
They're adding up. I got to do a little review.
Yeah, all right. All right, well, here's a few bucks, so right on. Well,
All right. Thanks.
yep. Well, cool, man. Well, so I wanted to ask, and we'll kind of wrap things up here, but I am curious because obviously, like, this is a waterfowl podcast, and I've gone out deer hunting before. I've done some pig hunting. I actually really enjoy pig hunting, but waterfowl hunting just seems to be something I'm really into. But I've also been told by folks that, like, do elk, but more deer. They're like, you start doing deer, like really getting into deer hunting, like especially like in that fall season, is like you'll never want to shoot ducks again. So what's your kind of like when you rank them? Like obviously this year, take away like, obviously you got that elk, so like you're probably on cloud 9 about that, right? But like what's your favorite hunting to do? Like what's your favorite game to pursue?
Well, the good thing is for like the season in Montana, it's at the end of October to the end of November, so I can do both.
Yeah.
With no problem. But it's a different rush. Like, if you get in on a big elk and it takes you a couple hours to get within range to shoot it, and to see how big that animal is, it's a rush like you won't find that rush in duck hunting.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating to be shooting at a 800-900 pound animal.
You all rifle hunting for you? Or do you do bow?
I've gone bow. I haven't taken anything down with my bow, but I have a bow, and it's something that I want to start getting more into as I'm able to later in life, to get more handle on my job and work and all that. But the best opportunity to kill a really big elk, and I do believe you can kill people have done it on our place, 380 to 400 inch elk, is during bow season.
Okay.
So it's when they get in the rut, they get pretty crazy. It's a really cool thing to watch.
Yeah.
To see those elk screaming at each other.
Do you do any sort of deer hunting out here in California? Not really.
No, I've killed one deer in California. I was 12 years old, and that was the first deer I ever killed. And
Where'd you do that?
Huh?
Where was that?
Right up by Diablo Grande.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then the second deer I killed was in Utah, and then ever since then, I started playing football, and ever since then, I've been hunting in Montana only. And to be honest, I'm spoiled.
Yeah, I would say it's not a bad place, but yeah, good for you.
I'm spoiled that I get to do that, but I don't want to do I don't really care to hunt anywhere else. I like it there, so.
So before we wrap up, I know it's closing weekend. How's the season been for you? How's duck season 25, 26
It hasn't been good. The last 3 hunts, excluding today, I had the best shoots I've had all season, but
Yeah.
it really hasn't been good for us overall.
Yeah. I know last weekend I couldn't make it down here, but Pete came down, and we know Pete doesn't hunt too often, but I was surprised to hear, and as you were too, but you got him on his first limit of birds last week, so that was pretty cool. So you guys are getting into him out here.
I'm still waiting for guide payment on that. Because we had agreed that if he killed the limit, I was going to get paid. And he did bring me a bottle of whiskey, but there was supposed to be some money involved, but...
Well, you know what's funny is I actually brought that up, but he's like, I only had a few bucks, so he decided to pay the housekeeper. And I said, Pete, there's no housekeeper at that cabin.
You get the guy's first limit, he still doesn't make the bed.
But, how about for some other members here? Or is it just kind of been across the board here at the club?
It just hasn't been that good of a year, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been a down year.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it goes sometimes.
So kind of an interesting question here, and then I promise we will wrap it up. 100 years, what does the next 100 years look like here at Newman Gun Club? We kind of talked about it. You're starting to have maybe some membership, not turnover, but, folks age out and folks are coming in,
It's kind of...
Is this club here 100 years from now?
It's probably... yeah, I think so.
That's awesome.
This marsh area from Gustine to Los Banos, I think I've always been told there's like 70 to 80 duck clubs.
Yeah.
Plus all the, the refuges and stuff.
Yeah.
But my dad, especially my dad, he's out here for...
Put some public pressure on him.
4 or
Your
5.
dad, the president of the board, has been, who I've been trying to get on the podcast. Yeah.
He's out here
He said off season.
He's out here for 4 or 5 hours a day working out here, doing all this work.
Yeah.
If you look around, we have all gravel roads. Everyone has a nice cabin.
Yeah.
It's well maintained. It's 2,000 acres, and it's very well maintained. If they set it up that way, if we don't take it on and continue to maintain it, we'd be idiots.
Yeah.
Because they've done all the hard work to get it to this point.
Yeah.
Water rights, everything. This club's set up well for the future. So
Nice. Well, what'd you think of your first podcast?
I think it's my last.
No, you're not going to come on again. I'm going to actually.
I got to come back on and tell my chicken strip story.
Do you want to tell your chicken strip story? Go ahead.
This is not a good segue to the chicken strip story.
That's about because I was going to segue saying, hey, Gropey, if I go to Montana, I'm bringing my podcast stuff. Does that mess up my application? See, he just laughs. I think I'm in. Tell me about. Go ahead. You want to share your Montana story about? Go ahead.
With this. I do get a lot of. We're California license plate. We're from California.
Yeah,
that is a thing over there. You get a lot of crap from people.
I saw your dad. He rocks the Montana license plate. I'm surprised you don't.
Not anymore. He doesn't.
It was on it's on his truck.
Oh, we're gonna change that soon.
Oh, sorry.
Got in trouble.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll cut that out.
Didn't he change it? I thought he changed it. I thought. Anyways, so we get a lot of shit, and it's all good. It's all warranted. Don't care for people in California either.
Sure,
most of them. But long story short as possible, we were at a gas station. We were leaving the ranch in Montana, and the dump was closed, so we didn't have nowhere to take all our trash bags. So we went to the local gas station, and we threw the trash bags in the trash can. And this guy comes around the corner with a thing of chicken strips.
I told you, a little boat.
Little boat.
Yeah.
Almost like he's going to hand me one. He's like holding them out so close. And he's like, totally caught us off guard. He's like, what do you got in the trailer? Like some camping stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hunt stuff. Oh, yeah? And as I'm talking, he just cuts me off and goes, that sheriff sees you throw that trash away. He's going to be pissed off, and he's bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I said, and I kind of just saw red. I was like, oh, yeah, go fucking get him. And I hit the chicken strips out of his hand. And they fly up in the air. And my buddy standing behind the guy catches one in his mouth.
Which that's actually a pretty funny little twist on the story. But it's, all because, they think that you got here a bunch of out-of-towners, right?
Out-of-towners throwing trash away, which I get it. I think the same thing. But we're about to try 22 hours.
Exactly.
We had 2 bags of trash we threw in. The guy was totally just wanted to big dog us.
Sure.
And, apparently the sheriff's, I'm 6'4",
Yeah.
275. So maybe 280.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything. Maybe after that big-ass lunch you just fed us.
He's like, hey, he's bigger than you. I was like, hey, go fucking get him then.
Yeah.
I hit the chicken strips out of his hand, and my buddy catches one in his mouth. It was freaking hilarious.
Nice. Well, right on, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on For the Fowlers, man. I told you. Hey, I said 30 minutes. We're at 30 minutes right now, so I appreciate the time.
Well, that's all you get paid for, right?
That's it. Yeah, anything more, I got to start paying my guests. But no, man, I appreciate it. It was once again a lot of fun hanging out here, and yeah, I look forward to coming out, again, and hopefully being invited to that summer 100-year party too.
Yeah,
should be a good time.
Yeah, it'd be a good time.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, and for all the guys out there listening, guys and gals, don't forget to follow us on Instagram @ForTheFowlers and rate and review this podcast. We will talk to you later.